With the recent updates, the devs basically messed with us by first shifting this U beam pattern towards the right or towards the left, making a lot of people learn new lineups, and then they reverted back the change so that the old lineups work. But during that brief period, I learned that you can use this bottom texture to make sure that your smoke lands perfectly at the elbow section and not slightly towards the left like they sometimes did. So here is what I learned. For spawn 1, I used to use this big stone on the right side of this U-beam and aim like roughly in the middle of that. Now I basically learned that if you point or aim slightly towards the right side of the tip of this small triangle over here, it makes the smoke absolutely perfect. So I used to line this up in the middle of the stone, then walk forward such and throw the smoke when you're about to hit the bottom of this. For spawn 2, I used to use like a few dots over here, which are roughly or barely visible in certain cases. So now the way to make sure it is perfect is that look at this second square from the left, and especially the left line of that, the vertical line, name in the middle of this circle and in the middle of that line. And that makes the smoke perfect. Because I'm aiming on the top of the line, you just need to move forwards halfway through the stone and throw when you're crossing that halfway mark. If you move forwards too much, it can bounce off of the roof, but that was always the case. But yeah, again, something to be aware of if you're like doing this for the first time, for example. For the third spawn, like this is the middle spawn, I used to use again like vague dots on the wall and aim slightly towards the right of them, but now I know how to make it consistent. So you look for this second square from the left and the circles in the middle of that, you just aim towards the left side of them. So just as follows, again aim at the line and throw the smoke when you're about to cross this halfway mark of the stone itself. For spawn 4 now, uh, these leaves might have been visible before, but I just noticed them like after the update was made. So you can use the left side of the leaf. This is actually the top of the tree, but from here it looks like leaves. So you aim at the top of the left leaf, and in the bottom you can use this. So second stone from the top, you can use the right side of that. That is where you essentially need to be pointing at. And in this case, you just need to walk forwards and throw the smoke when you're about to hit this top wall. For spawn 5, again, I used to use like vague dots on this wall or this line over here. Now I know that you can either use this right side. So in this U-beam, you can use the right vertical line, or you can use like in this ring, in the inner circle, you just need to be pointing slightly towards the right side of the middle of this. So basically somewhere over here. And again, the same line. In this case, you don't need to move forwards too far away because this is already close to elbow or the closest spawn to elbow rather, and just moving slightly or taking like one or two steps and throwing the smoke works. And these are the old lineups with a small learning bit from the newer ones. Hope this helps. That's it.